G'day amateur Austrians, how you doing? Hope you've got some food in your belly and a place to sleep. Today I just want to talk about an experience of one of my friends. I've had other people a couple of years ago that didn't quite have so much trouble as what you get now. Trying to withdraw cash from the bank. You know, people with sort of more than 100,000 in the bank, and initially they wanted to, you know, just be able to pay tradesmen without coming into town because they live an hour and a quarter out of town. So it's easier just to, you know, get a deck built and give them 30, 40 grand, you know, and so get an invoice for it and rah. And they initially got told, yeah, no trouble, you just come in, you know, and you can. They said we got a few projects going on, so we need to grab 50 grand at a time, and we'll come in, you know. And they said, yeah, you can come in 3 times or whatever it is, and they came in. I don't know if they might have got the first lot, and then the second time they were told, I'm sorry, you're going to have to make an appointment, and it has to be less than $5,000. We can do that tomorrow. And, you know, they said, well, hang on, what about when you told us the other, you know, we can get 50,000 out? And they said, well, no, there's things have changed, and they're working on a digital currency, so we're not going to let too much cash go. That's actually what the teller said. And so that, you know, my friends sort of got a little bit upset and said, well, it's, you know, it's none of your business. They wanted to know what you want to use it for. That's right. Yeah. You had to get less than 5,000 at a time. Otherwise you had to tell them exactly where it was going to be spent. And this friend of mine got a little bit irate and said, you know, hang on, this is none of your business where I spend it. But I had been trying to explain to him, you know, for about a year, that it's not the case, you know, that you think that you can spend your cash without being tracked, you know, or dobbing yourself in for some reason, you know, turning you into a criminal for using your own cash. So, you know, the answer has been and continues to be, go and buy an asset with it. Is it really yours if you're being told that you can't withdraw it, that you can only look at it on a screen? Is it yours? If someone in the bank is telling you that, you know, here's the rules, and without following those rules you don't get it, and you certainly can't have it all at once, by golly. That sounds like a bank run to me, and a bail-in. That sounds like an Australian bail-in. Just like the Greek bail-in where they could only get 50 euros a day out or whatever it was. This is an Australian bail-in by the sound of it. So if you're going to be told that you can't get your own cash out, just go and buy something else with it, eh? That's what's happening. It's get converted into goods and services. Preferably gold and silver. Preferably silver, of course. You know? Go and set up an account with Kinesis and buy yourself some gold and get a 6% yield. If it's going to be held digitally, you may as well get a decent interest rate on it and have it backed up by a piece of metal in the vault. If you don't want to do that, get the damn stuff delivered. Send it to a bullion company, Ainsley Bullion in Brisbane, ABC Bullion in Sydney, Perth Mint. Get those digits that you're not allowed to turn into cash and send them off to a bullion dealer. Or buy some real estate with them. Or if you were looking for a car, buy a car with it. Because you can't just store it at home. You're not allowed. It's not your money while it's sitting there. So you just better get it out of there before they say you can't touch it at all. I would say. That's a warning. It's a red light. It's like, hey, we're nearly there. We've nearly stopped you taking $10 out in cash. We're just trying to switch you over to a digital system so we can track every transaction you do. Well, colour me happy. Isn't that lovely? You know, then we're going to have some sort of a little trade market where people will go, well, I'll swap you that lawnmower for that bloody horse shit, you know? That's what'll happen. Or you'll end up with people trading copper coins and silver coins and gold coins for other products just because they're not doing anyone any harm, they're not committing a crime, they just like to have an anonymous transaction. And if the purpose of tracking all these transactions is so you can tax them, so you can tax, when you sell a lawnmower to your neighbor and they say, oh, that's income, and they want to slap you with a 30% tax on that, that's when it gets, overreach, guys. That's when you go, nah, I'll find a way around that. I'm not paying 30%. I already paid 30% income tax. And then I paid 50% fuel excise when I filled up and paid, $10 a litre. You're not having any more. That's all that's going to happen. And I'm not saying that you need to stop paying your tax, pay your income tax, whatever, keep your nose clean, but that's overreach. When you sell a lawnmower to your neighbour and they want to tax it because they've been tracking you and they've seen that you've done it. What next? They tell you who to marry and what to eat. Enough's enough. So if they're gonna sit there and go, you can't have your digits in little slithers of plastic, you just hurry off now and buy something real with it. Because I'd say you've already lost it if you want to leave it there. That's all, trendsetters. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you next time.